going on, guys? It's Ketter at the cabin. I want to start something new for Ketter at the cabin. It's going to be called Beverages with Ketter. What that means is you're going to sit down with me, have a beverage, probably a little snack, and we're going to talk all things fly fishing. So, a little bit like a podcast. They might be short, they might be long, maybe get some guest speakers sometime to come in and talk about some fly fishing. But yeah, let's get it kicked off. Season 1, Episode 1 of Beverages with Ketter. What's the first beverage going to be? Yes, a cold Busch. Not a Busch Light, a Busch Heavy. I love Busch Heavy. I also love Busch Light. Yeah, get yourself a beverage now. Grab yourself a cold mug, preferably one that represents Minnesota sports teams. Crack that cold beer. Get yourself a nice solid pour. Now, the beverage can be anything. I might do coffee sometimes. I might do tea, beer, water, a Coca-Cola. It doesn't matter. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at that. Cheers, guys. Alright, so, anyways, it is January 2nd, 2025. We made it. With that being said, New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals, everyone's talking about it. So that's going to be the topic of our discussion today. I do have some goals for myself this year for fly fishing, particularly 3 main goals that I'd like to go over. I'll tell you my goals, guys, and I will tell you how I plan to achieve them. And the tactics that I'm going to be using to approach this. So let's get it kicked off. Goal number 1, I want to hit the trifecta. Okay, so what does that mean? Driftless area, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, I guess a little bit of Illinois, but I don't fish down there. That area has predominantly three trout. You're going to have your brown trout, your rainbow trout, and then your native brook trout. Makes 3. Trifecta, troutfecta. There is, some tiger trout. We're not going to get into that. That's a whole different topic. But yeah, 3 main trout. And my goal is to set out one day and catch all 3 of them. Seems like something that could be challenging, but also could come very easy when you're not trying to. Last year I spent a lot of time on the water, just fishing, trying new places. So I have a really, really good understanding of where to go to catch these 3 different species. The brown trout, very abundant where I live. Not worried about hooking into one of those. The rainbows, particular streams have more because rainbows are stocked. So I have a couple spots in mind where I can go and take care of business on a rainbow. The tough part is the brook trout. But last year at the end of the year, I dialed in on the brook trout. So I know where to go. I got a couple spots in mind to go ahead and catch me a brookie. So my goal is to get out and catch all 3 in one day. There will be specific days where I will set out just to hit the trifecta, troutfecta. But if it happens while I'm just out, maybe on a trip with the boys or, doing whatever, it happens. We'll see. I can't wait though, because that's going to be one of my favorite goals. I think I'll be pretty fired up to hit that. Cool. So have a little pause for a sip. Boy, is that good. Goal number 2. I want to float the Vermilion River. The Vermilion River, central metro Minnesota, great river. Really hard to fish if you're not in the water. It's dark. It's dirty. The banks are very nasty. It's just a tough river to fish if you're not in the water. There's a lot of vegetation. You can't wade because there's deep spots, but there's a lot of big fish in there. You ask really anyone who trout fishes in Minnesota, like Vermilion River, there's going to be trophy browns in there and trophy rainbows in there. Again, very hard to fish and a lot of pressure, but I do have a kayak. I know a kayak is not the optimal way to fly fish. I do not have a float boat. I wish maybe someday, but we'll make do with what I have. I have a kayak, so you can make fun of me for fly fishing out of a kayak. I don't care. I'm getting out there. So that's goal number 2, is to float the Vermilion River and try to catch me a trout for my kayak. I've spent some time on trout routes just kind of mapping out where I want to put in, where I want to float, and where I want to get picked up. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens when it actually happens. But, you know, I'll put in, I'll float, I'll make sure someone's ready to pick me up or come save me, whatever comes first. But that's goal number 2, is to float down the Vermilion River and do some fly fishing. Two big goals there, guys. 2 big goals. Now, number 3 is the hardest one. This is probably anyone who fishes gulls, especially trout fishermen. I want to join the 20 club. Yes, I want to catch a 20-inch trout. 20-inch trout is a big trout. That's it. Like, if you can get into that 20-inch club, you're catching big trout. Some guys do it religiously. Kudos. That's awesome. But around here, it's not very common. It is for some people in the driftless, but not me. But there is a lot of big fish in the driftless area. I've seen them. I've seen them with my own eyes. This last year, in October, I did catch my biggest brown trout. It was just about 17 inches. Fired me right up. So, you know, we're getting close. Still need another 3 to 4 inches to break that hump, but I am striving for that goal. And if I don't hit that goal, it's every year, is to join the 20-inch club. I really think I stand a good chance this year. But again, who knows? But yeah, guys, those are my 3 main goals. They might all kind of happen together, especially on that float on the Vermilion. Could definitely possibly hook into a big 20-inch fish. I would prefer my 20-inch fish to be a brown trout. However, could be a rainbow. I don't care. I would be just stoked to catch a fish that big. But yeah, they can flow together. We'll see what kind of happens. Like I said, I'll go out and kind of have plans some days, but other than that, I'm just going to get out and fish and have a good time. But 3 goals, guys. And I have from now, today's January 2nd, have from now until mid to late October in Minnesota and Wisconsin to get it done. So I got some time to get these goals taken care of. So stay tuned, guys. Stay with us. Stay with the journey. And as you know, we'll be trying to cross off these goals. And when I do, we'll put a fun little video together and throw some check marks next to those goals. Do have them written down here. They're ready to be checked off whenever I do get to that point. But yeah, guys, that's it. That is the first Beverages with Ketter. Nice cold bush. Nice wild cup. Forgot to mention my snacks here. A little garden dill oyster crackers. Phenomenal with the beer. They're salty, tasty. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content on Ketter at the Cabin, whether that's TikTok, Instagram. Working on some other things. Get out there and fish if you can. It's going to get miserably cold, but there's fish out there and they want to be caught this time of the year. Right? Of course. Thanks, guys.